What's going on, Neon Nation? Welcome back to the Neon Arcade for some more Cyberpunk 2077. Today we're going over part 2 of our ACPA and Power Armor series. Today we're going to get really specific and talk about ACPA weapons. If you missed part 1, check the description or pinned comment for that episode. Just like the actual flesh and bone edge runners and cyberpunks in 2020, ACPAs have a large variety of weapons. Starting with melee weapons, we have the heavy bladed weapons, including axes and swords, which can't be wielded effectively by an unpowered human. Some trooper pilots carry these ACPA blades as a mark of distinction or honor, and these blades have the ability to penetrate hard and soft armors. The most common model of bladed weapons is the trooper sword, which sports a classic medieval crusader design. It weighs more than several times that of a normal sword, but it's just as sharp as a good combat knife. Heavy blunt weapons are very similar but are made at a lower quality production and have less potential for armor piercing as their bladed counterparts. Large power saws, which sport a power disc or chainsaw with very sharp hardened alloy teeth, and retractable mono swords, which are lighter than trooper swords, are options for ACPAs looking to up their hand-to-hand and brawly combat potential. Next we have machine guns and heavy rifles, which have become standard primary weapons in ACPA combat in 2020 and can wound a trooper in armor with a well-placed shot. Most rifles can be enclosed on the arms or be external on the arms or torso, as well as being handled with two hands. Externally, you can choose to protect your weapons with armored pods or housing units. The 12.7mm HMG is a vehicular heavy machine gun, whilst the 13.9mm rifle is a rare rifle based on the 55 caliber anti-tank weapon used between the world wars called the Boys AT rifle. The 14.5mm KPV is a massive machine gun and one of the most devastating anti-ACPA weapons ever used. Featuring a very high rate of fire, this weapon was the largest machine gun made by the Russians and was originally mounted on vehicles. The 12.7mm Gatling gun is a weapon usually mounted onto AVs and helicopters, whose multi-round penetration can drop even the hardiest suit of power armor. The EMG 85 4mm railgun has immense power requirements but cannot be matched in its penetration power. Experimental weapons are typically used in ACPAs due to the nature of their exotic design and functionality, and although beam weapons are limited to primarily space use, there are a couple that function great on ACPAs. A painting laser can be used to spot for laser-guided weaponry, which comes in handy for other units on the battlefield. They also have the Meta Armson Photon assault cannon, the first combat laser weapon to see field use. Power is provided by a backpack superconductor battery, and damage here can be varied by adjusting the amount of power used. Next we have scatter packs, which are lightweight weapons which use explosive charges to fire an area-filling cone of ammo. There are also special restrictions on firing scatter packs, and firing one in a location not recognized as a militarized zone can lead to a suspension and investigation of the trooper or soldier behind it. Some examples of scatter packs are the BRP Battle Dress Ripple Flechette Pack, which holds clusters of explosive charges in separate tunes which can be fired simultaneously in a 60-degree cone, BFCWA Flechetter rounds, which fire needle projectiles in a wider cone, and the BIM Mindlets Volley, which sends a 60-degree cone of mini-mines to damage infantry unfortunate enough to walk on them. There are also more traditional scatter packs filled with smoke, rubber, or chemical pellets, and even a pyrotechnics package for colorful, firecracker-esque diversions. Second only to heavy rifles, ACPA portable cannons are often used on the PA battlefield. Most are designed as a bullpup battle pack, which makes the large weapons easier to handle. The 20mm rifle is the most common, but options like the 27 to 30mm autocannon, the EMG 83 improved railgun, and the 75mm recoilless cannon are options if you're looking to beef up your ACPA setup. Rockets and missiles are the true heavy arms, which are mainly strapped onto aerial vehicles and helicopters and have extreme destructive capabilities, perfect for full military operations. All these weapons, by the way, require some sort of targeting capabilities. The IFAR is a folding fin aerial rocket and has been in use since the Korean conflict. This is a single shot tube mounted on the arm or the back of the PA and is intended for medium to hard targets. The Law 3 is an anti-tank system designed to punch through armor and is one of the more common types of rockets when it comes to power armor. The light anti-tank guided missile is massively larger and is capable of stopping most AFVs on the battlefield. ACPAs can also carry smaller arms like anti-personnel weaponry, including miniguns and auto shotguns, and grenade launchers, which can deal with infantry or other ACPAs and can be modified to incorporate incendiary grenades and white phosphorus amongst other things. Thanks for watching, guys, and for more Cyberpunk, join Neon Nation by subscribing to the Neon Arcade.